Welcome. So lovely to be with you again today. And it's been a little while since I posted my last video. I normally script and plan them, but I just haven't had time this week. So we're just going to do it off the cuff today and see how we get on. So thank you so much for everyone helping me achieve 1,000 subscribers. I haven't had my email yet from YouTube with all the confetti, but I'm waiting for it. So I'm very grateful for everyone who has taken the time not only to watch my content but also to subscribe and like and comment. Thank you. So today I thought, considering where the world is, that we would talk about balance and forgiveness. So let's start with forgiveness first, and we'll discuss how and why it is so important to really crack this step. So I've taught many clients in the past who come to me who are really struggling in the beginning and are holding on so tightly to things that have happened to them in the past, or things they've done to others, or things that life have done to them, and absolutely refuse to let it go. Now, the problem with this is that we not only are tethering ourselves to the matrix, to this illusion, the third dimension reality that we are all trying to unplug from, but we are also allowing all this toxic energy to stay within our bodies. And this can cause physical ailments, cancer, blood disease, any kind of trauma within the body, because it has to be released in some way. So rather than waiting for it to become a physical ailment that you then have to go and get rid of, it's really good to practice all this forgiveness work. Now, there's a beautiful book called Hoponopono. I know I've said that wrong, and I've mentioned it in one of my other videos before. But the basic principle behind these teachings is very simple. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now, by practicing this mantra, not only to analyze exactly what you have to get rid of. It's really good for when you've done the forgiveness work and you slip up and you just want to get rid of it so that the mind doesn't start getting involved and making you think, oh my goodness, I wish I'd never said that, or I wish I'd never done that, or how could they do that to me? Because all of this beautiful work that we're doing on our ascension journeys is to release ourselves from the mind, to dissolve the ego, and to bring ourselves fully into the heart center. So if you're holding on to resentment, remorse, or feeling poor me, what is very good to do is to take some time in your journal and start making a list of people, events, circumstances, thoughts, anything that is part of holding you back from ascending to becoming a higher vibrational spiritual being. So make a list of all of these. Also, analyze what it is behind all of this. What is the treasure? How have these events in your life, because everything happens for a reason, there is no coincidence. What is the treasure that you can find from there? If it is, for example, something that's happened to you in the past, what was the treasure? What was the benefit of the lesson, of the teaching? Because once you start addressing what it is that has helped you evolve as a spiritual being, you can really let it go. If you're just trying to let something go, you're just kind of making a list and saying, he was horrible to me, or my husband divorced me, or had an affair, or whatever it is, you're not really going into what it is that you're holding into the emotional body. Now, if you want to do this work fully, lesson 5 on my 10-step program that you can find the link below takes you through this step by step and is really helpful. But if you want to do it on your own, spend some time on this step, because if you are holding on to all this toxic energy, not only are you bound to the third dimension reality, you will be in your head, your ego will be stimulated, and you could be getting physical ailments. To show you, the body always tells us what is wrong or what we need to evolve and move forward from. So spend some time doing these steps. Once you've analysed them, you can go through the process of allowing yourself to forgive and let go. And you might want to do a burning ceremony, or like I did, I let a million butterflies fly out after I'd meditated on all of the mantras in the Ho'oponopono book. And the relief you'll feel after this is just amazing, and it will help you move to higher dimensional frequencies and ascend. So if you are holding on to loads of resentment, you have to do this work. There's no other way. So I hope that has helped a little bit, which is with why forgiveness is so important. So balance can only be achieved once you have done all of these steps, that you've learned to escape the mind, that you have learned to dissolve the ego, to fully live in the present moment, to understand more fully who you are as a spiritual being, not the avatar, not your name and where you come from and how old you are. That has no relevance. That is the name that you've given to the physical body and has nothing to do with your ascended self. Now, there is so much conception about ascension. Now, we ascended as a planet, and we are tied with our physical body to Gaia. We are the stuff of worlds that stars are made of. We're all made of the same 92 chemical compounds, if you like. So finding balance within yourself to be able to ascend to these higher planes by bringing all dimensions into one, into a 0 point center of who you really are, will help you with your returning to full soul consciousness, if you like. So I just made a video for my Telegram group about this. So it's really good to visualize that not only are you many fractals of who you are, 12 fractals of energy, of other beings that are on this planet that we have to bring and consolidate into ourselves. We also need to bring all the dimensions from 12th dimension to first dimension and collapse all of these timelines this way and this way, so that we are allowing them to explode, expire, so that we're washing everything and coming more to a pure state of being. And it isn't easy to do this. If you haven't done all the fundamental first steps, you might not really understand this or be able to do it. But something you can do as an exercise that I've actually been practicing this morning is, with your eyes open, try and hold your vision. No, well, I'm saying vision from here, not what you can see. Half of the problem is that we judge on what we're visually seeing. So open your eyes just so that you're fully conscious, But you're working from the heart center. The heart muscle is where all the intelligence is. And visualize 3 different layers. So let's say that we've got fifth dimension to 12th dimension, third dimension, which is Gaia, and second and first dimension, which is the Devix, the elements and nature. And what you're trying to do is hold your focus on those 3 at the same time. So I'm doing this now. So as you're doing this, you will feel that your heart center starts expanding. Now, not only is this going to keep you out of your head, but it's also going to help with your frequency and help rise your vibration. Now, this is mastery. And if you're interested or on your spiritual journey, this is the lifetime in which to do it. We're not going to be reincarnating in the physical vessel anymore. And we all have the choice of graduating in this lifetime to become masters, to become ascended masters or gods and goddesses, to become our original God source or full soul consciousness, so that we are evolved, that we're seeing the world from a higher perspective, holding all dimensions, all knowledge, all Akashic records, and being able to operate from this higher state of consciousness rather than through the physical avatar and the mind, which is only going to keep you trapped in ego. So practicing that step that I've showed you today, you're going to feel an aha moment. Do it as often as possible. Try and hold that as your state of being as often as possible, so that you can get better at this. And as you do, you will start being able to view the fifth dimension in all its glory, i.e. seeing things in more technicolor. So this is one step really above living in the moment, is taking it to the next level. And I know that I've noticed this by practicing this, that I'm beginning to see prisms of light around things that I never saw. So let's say, for example, you're looking at a halogen bulb. Now I can see all the colours of the rainbow around the light, which I never was able to see before. And I'm noticing more things in nature, not that I'm just looking at a tree, but I'm noticing in great detail the veinings on the leaf, the buds, the texture of the bark, the vibration of the tree. It's kind of, if you've watched me before, you know I love trees. And everything becomes more exaggerated. And we can't see fifth dimension when we're in the fourth and third. We can see backwards. So when we're in fifth dimension, we will be able to see fourth, third, second, and first. But when you're in first, second, third, or fourth, you can't see fifth. So when we get to this place of being in a higher vibration, we're going to be able to see heaven on earth. Now, this is already here. It's here for us to experience. But only people that are dedicated to the work are going to be able to go through this graduation. Now, I don't know about you, but we've spent thousands of lifetimes living in this dense, dark, horrible energy of duality, where we have only been able to see black and white, good and bad, evil and good. Everything is part of itself. It's the other side of a coin. So if you're familiar with the yin and yang sign, where you've got the dark, which is the feminine energy, which is where we're going into, and where we've been, which is the light, which is the masculine energy, you will see that they are in conjunction with each other, and a dot in either one blends everything together. So, the human experience that we've had over all of these millennia, whether we've experienced lifetimes on Earth or whether they've been in other star systems, whatever, um, it, it really will help you elevate your consciousness to be able to be fixed in the fourth, fifth dimension and hold yourself there. Now, when you get yourself to that place, you are energy, even though we're going to be taking the physical bodies with us this time, which, with all this light that's coming to the planet, is crystallining our physical bodies and turning them into diamonds, into glass, so that we are transparent. We operate from a place of humility, of love, um, cooperation, compassion, all of the things that are not part of the third dimension reality. And you will start to feel unplugged, and you will start to feel your true authentic nature as a soul rather than in the physical body. Now, eventually, when we go to the sixth dimension and above, we will only be light. We're not quite ready yet there. And this experience that Earth is going through with the ascension has never happened before. It's such a privilege to be on Earth at this time, doing this work, staying out of all the drama, um, which is absolutely no point you being involved in. So if you're spending hours on YouTube trying to get up to the minute intel, watching horror films, being stressed, focusing on debt, worrying about how you're going to survive, all of these things, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because you don't need to experience that anymore. That should have been part of the process of letting everything go, so that you can experience from an observed perspective the avatar, which is part of you, but operated from a higher place of consciousness. So the more work you do, more dedicated you are, more passionate you are about moving to your graduation, the more chance you have of becoming this clean, glass, crystalline, beautiful being. And at the spring equinox next year, I think the date is the 17th to the 21st of March, this is when people that have done the work will be fully crystallined. And this is the point where we should then start seeing and experiencing the fifth dimension in more glory, in being able to experience it, see it, feel it, touch it. So the difference between being in the physical body, which is why we incarnate, is that we get the chance to experience as a soul, which is energy, senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, feel, and obviously our intuition, which is kind of like the sixth sense that runs through all of us. And this is why we incarnate, so that we can enhance our experience, not only through what our essence has chosen, and our soul ages, etc., but our overleaves, our modes, our centers, our attitudes, our roles, our goals, which again is lesson 10 in my program, which is absolutely fascinating to really remember who you are. And this state of being, you can kind of consider this as bliss, heaven on earth, if you like. So if you are consumed with knowledge from the material realm and worried about everything that's going on, what's happening is all these dimensions are all collapsing on each other. And the more light you can bring into Gaia by grounding yourself, you are helping with this. So every time that you're going out of this state of being, you're not really doing any service to yourself or to the planet. And more of the enlightened beings that are here, the 144,000 souls that are the pillars of light that are to walk amongst the unawakened, and some will wake up and some won't. That's fine. Everyone has free will. We can all do what we want. We will evolve more quickly out of this drama, out of this difficult time that everyone is experiencing, because it's an illusion. It doesn't exist. So if you're really serious about doing this work, I would highly recommend trying to practice this technique. As I've mentioned in a previous video before, meditating, holding your attention to the upper side of your mouth to keep yourself very focused. It's a similar type of process. It's like living in the moment. They're all steps to get you out of the mind. The mind is the root of all evil. Some people say it's money, but if you can't dissolve the ego and escape the mind, you can't elevate in your vibration to a higher state of consciousness. So I hope that has helped you a little bit today. I'm sorry it wasn't quite as organised as one of my normal videos, but it's about transfer of love and knowledge and wisdom. And as you know, I teach my journey. This is the stage that I'm going through now. And yeah, leave me your comments and let me know if it's helping you and if you feel different. And just know that we are so close. I thought a few years ago that this ascension journey would take thousands of years. I had no idea that it was within the grasp of our lifetimes, very close lifetimes. So the opportunity is there for you to do this work and to evolve as a spiritual being. So until next time, as always, I wish you love and light.